Raiders versus Dolphins.
The Dolphins are laying 7.5. The total here is at 44.5. Raiders coming in off of a bye. Dolphins on a short week beat the Rams outright. Junior, are the Raiders tanking? Are they tanking for Shador Sanders? And really, is he the fucking best quarterback that college has to offer? I mean, I don't think so, but what's your opinion?
Yeah, so I got into an online argument with people that rating quarterbacks or valuing quarterbacks is the hardest thing in all of professional sports. Brock Purdy was the last person picked in the draft. Trevor Lawrence was the first person picked in the draft. Figure that out if somehow.
Well, I have a comeback for that, and I strongly disagree. I think the problem is they try to measure what their perception of their talent is rather than their performance in college football. Because every quarterback in college football has told you exactly who they are. Joe Burrow did nothing his first year at LSU, right? They actually
Right.
looked terrible his first year at LSU. Then they enter that bowl game, and something in that bowl game happened. He got injured and got fired up, and the team got fired up behind him because of how fired up he was. And then they come back the following year, probably the best season we'll ever see from a college quarterback, right? But if you go through the list of starting quarterbacks now and look at how they performed in college, they told you who they were. I
Right.
mean, Bryce Young took a historic like school like Alabama, did nothing with the talent there. Caleb Williams, again, very poor performance at USC in a conference that played no defense in the Pac-12. And then you look at a guy like Justin Herbert, who actually overperformed at Oregon with nobody around him. He had zero weapons when he was at Oregon. There is nobody that played on that, as far as the skill set that plays in the NFL right now. Justin Herbert did nothing. Still went to the Rose Bowl and beat a good Wisconsin team that year. So I believe Shador is doing less than nothing. And who's he playing? He's playing against the worst defenses in college football, and he's still doing nothing. How is this going to be a number one draft pick? Because he's Deion's son? I don't get it.
So statistically, that's what I was going to bounce back to. He's top five in every quarterback metric, right? He's top five in touchdowns. He's top five in percentage. He's top five in yards. He's top five in everything. So, and he's doing it with a horrible offensive line. Now, do I think that means he can go to the NFL and do that? Whoa, I don't know about all that, but I can only judge him by the competition he's playing. I have a extreme bias against Big 12 quarterbacks because I think Big 12, the defenses are absolutely horrendous, honestly, and their stats are always inflated. So I do think he should be the first quarterback picked. I don't think the other quarterbacks really measure up, other than maybe Cam Ward, who seems to pull something out of a rabbit out of his hat every week. But again, between Cam Ward and Shador, you're basically saying those are the best two of a bad bunch because the rest of the quarterbacks are horrible.
I don't know about horrible. I mean, who's your top five?
So Shador, Cam, probably. I mean, I don't even want to say Carson Beck because he's horrendous. Maybe Newsmeyer, or how do you say the LSU quarterback's name? Nussmeier. Because he looks like a professional quarterback. I thought the Penn State quarterback looked like a pro, but his numbers, they're just not doing it. And that style of offense doesn't really suit a pro quarterback. I'm not really sure, honestly.
Well, no Jackson Dart?
These Ole Miss quarterbacks, though, their numbers are always inflated. I don't know. I'm not convinced by any of these people.
I am a Dart guy. I am a big believer in Jackson Dart and that arm.
Okay.
I that's just me though. I don't think Shador Sanders is an NFL quarterback. I mean, I could be proven wrong. I really didn't think Stroud was either. I did, however, believe in Jaden Daniels. I love Jaden Daniels. I actually loved Jaden Daniels at Arizona State when nobody was even watching the kid play. He looked like this little stick figure running around out there, and then all of a sudden you see him throw the ball 60 yards down the field. So, all right. Anyway, they're tanking for Shador. Go ahead. Who do you like in this game?
So here's the thing, though. Tanking for Shador again, that doesn't even make sense. That ain't going to fix your problems, especially not for the Raiders. That being said, I can only look Miami. I mentioned in a previous video that we did, I had the Patriots and Rams totaled teased up to 50, and I'm combining that with the Dolphins teased down to 1.5. I don't 7.5. I mean, just as a professional capper, you want to lose your fucking money. Bet 7.5 regularly and see what happens to your wallet. So it's either I tease it or I stay the F away from it because betting 7.5 is just not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, listen, I don't get this though. Everybody's down on the Fins. I really don't get it. I understand that since Tua came back, they're 1-2. But the record isn't really the entire story. The first game back, he goes up against Arizona. Miami led by 2 scores. They lost on a walk-off field goal. Dolphins put up 27 points in that game. Then they have to play Buffalo. The Bills own them. They always lose to the Buffalo Bills. But they only lost that game by 3. One of the hottest well, actually, this is 2 of the hottest teams in the NFL that they lost to, put up 27 in both games. Tua was 25 of 28, 2 touchdowns. Those are 2 of the hottest teams in the NFL. Then he comes out on Monday night. They beat a good Rams team on the road, held Stafford to 15 points, all field goals. Miami scoring points. The defense is improving. This is the perfect spot. A bad Raiders team, bad on both sides of the ball, 4th fewest in points offensively, 3rd most points defensively. The Dolphins are going to basically run this team off the fucking turf. You got to like it in moneyline parlays and 2-team teasers. I don't mind playing it at 7.5. That hook is just going to kill you. But I would lay a touchdown in your spot. I think they get there. They get there by margin. I think they win this game by 2-3 touchdowns.
Yeah, just to echo everything you said, if I can get it at 7, I'm all over it. Just the hook. Just, because we do this for a living, in the long run, you're not winning betting against the hook.
That's right.